Welcome to the Socialette podcast, where we empower you with the marketing know-how you need to create the business of your dreams. I'm your host, Steph Taylor, and I'm a marketing nerd, Shiraz lover, and passport stamp collector. Join me as I dive into all things small business marketing and deliver them to you in bite-sized, fluff-free lessons every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's get learning. Hey, welcome back to Socialette. This is episode 124. This episode is brought to you by my free ebook, 79 Ways to Uplevel Your Business. Inside it, you'll find 79 actionable tips you can implement in your business to start moving the needle and start seeing some real growth. Head to stephtaylor.co/79 to download it. Okay, this episode, I'm sharing the email marketing lessons that I learned in 2018, as well as some of the things that seem to be working well right now in 2019. I've done episodes in a similar style over the last week or so for Facebook ads, Instagram, Pinterest, and content marketing. So go back and listen to those episodes if you haven't already. Email marketing. All right, email marketing is such an important part of marketing your business, and I feel like it just doesn't get enough attention. Instead of asking, how can I get more Instagram followers? People should really be asking, how can I grow my email list? Email marketing, hands down, makes me the most money in my own business. And I know I'm not the only one. And that's coming from someone with a fairly decent sized Instagram following and a very engaged Instagram audience. Email marketing is the most profitable thing by far. Anyway, so the lessons that I learned in 2018. Firstly, I learned that my audience prefers text-only emails to pretty templates. I used to send out plain text emails, and then last year I got a designer to do up an email template for the Wild Bloom newsletters, and it was beautiful. It was so perfectly on brand, and it just looked really slick and professional. But instead of the email being like a letter from me to the reader, it felt like it was a whole lot more promotional than it was before. It became a newsletter, not an email, and fewer people actually clicked on the links. So we tried sending these out for a while and then ultimately switched back to plain text emails. But just because my audience interacts better with plain text doesn't mean that yours will. It's just something to consider testing if you're finding that you're not getting many people clicking through. The second thing that I learned is to tell stories. I used to stare at the blank email in front of me with just no idea what to say, and I would try so hard to promote my content. And the end result just sounded really yucky and not like me at all. So now I tend to start each email with a story of some kind. I don't over-edit them, and I just let my natural writing flow. And now they sound so much better than they did before. So yeah, if you're not sure what to write, tell a story and then relate it back to whatever it is that you do. The third lesson that I learned is don't send emails for the sake of it. Every email should be intentional. So before you sit down to write an email, ask yourself, what is the purpose of this email? What am I trying to achieve? I used to have a ton of different calls to action in each email. So read this and then click here to buy and then follow on Instagram, etc., 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 etc. And I found that it actually tends to be a lot more powerful to have just one call to action and then focus the entire email on getting the reader to take that action. So it might be telling a story and then segueing into a product. And then the call to action would be click here to learn more about this product. Okay, so what's working well in 2019? The first thing that's working really well is personalization. Now, email personalization has been around for a while, mostly just in that people will use merge fields to add the subscriber's name into the email. So, for example, instead of hey, it would be hey, Sarah. But this year, personalization is going one step further. It's all about personalizing the content of the email to the reader, so showing them more of what they want to see. Now, this is particularly big in the e-commerce space, probably not so much if you're a smaller service-based business, but let's just say, for example, you ran a shoe store. So maybe somebody just checked out the boots category on your website and they didn't purchase, but they're already on your email list. You could send them an email with a blog post all about the hottest styles of boots for this winter. How you'd achieve this would totally depend on what platform your store is built on, what email marketing tool you use. I'm not going to dive into the details because, trust me, it's also over my head. At its simplest though, you could segment your audiences and you could send different email newsletters to each audience segment. So for example, if you have a segment interested in boots, one segment interested in party shoes, and one segment interested in work shoes, you'd send each of these segments different email content tailored to what they're interested in. The second thing that's working really well in 2019 so far is quality over quantity. And you're probably not surprised to hear this if you've listened to any of my episodes from the last couple of weeks. This one came up in my episodes about Instagram marketing and also about content marketing in 2019. Basically, people are becoming a lot more selective about which emails they open. So rather than flooding inboxes, you need to be conscious that each and every email you're sending is worthwhile opening. Otherwise, your subscribers might stop opening your emails altogether. I'm a big fan of delivering lots of value rather than just promoting to your email list. So make it worth their while to be on your list. And then thirdly, the third thing that's working really well is getting intentional about growing your email list. You can't just rely on the little box in your website footer that says join our newsletter here, or the pop-up that pops up as soon as someone lands on your page saying join our newsletter. These days, it's all about setting up an email list building system that grows your email list with the right people while you get on with your day-to-day. And I know the word system sounds a little bit yucky, scary. All the system is that it's a freebie you can offer people in return for their email address. And then you need to set up a page or a pop-up where they can opt in for it, and an automated email sequence for once they've given you their email address. I go through each of these steps in a lot more detail inside my 3-day email marketing Kickstarter. It's basically the A to Z of how to get this email list building system set up inside MailChimp, so no expensive apps required. It's very straightforward. And trust me, it's a lot easier than you think it is. And it's basically designed to get you to build your email list in an intentional way on an ongoing basis so that when you're ready to promote something or launch something, you've got an email list waiting there for you, ready to buy. You're not just launching to crickets. Anyway, so head to stephtaylor.co/email to find out more and join the 3-day email marketing Kickstarter. That's it for this episode. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you've enjoyed this show and you've maybe learned just a couple of things from it, I'd really appreciate it if you could take the time to leave a quick rating and a review. It means so much to me when you do, and I read every single one of them. It gives me the warm fuzzies. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Catch you next time.